lovely YouTubers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Morgan Tracy J, coming today with a new message for you guys that I hope you're gonna love and be empowered. Today's message is entitled, Come Out of the Cave. This is something that I was actually sitting down studying 1 Samuel chapter 22 one day, and this word really hit me and it ministered to me, and I know it can minister to you too. So guys, the really reason why I wanted to record this message is because sometimes we all need to remember to come out of our cave. See, it tells us in 1 Samuel chapter 22, David was in distress. David was running and he went into this cave, right? And it says while David was in this cave, people began to come unto David. He became their leader. However, he was still in the cave. And then a prophet came unto David and told him to, hey, come out of the stronghold, come out of this cave and go to your land, your new territory, pretty much the land of Judah. That's what the prophet tells David. But I want you to realize first off is that while David was in the cave, he was becoming a leader. This is something that many of us don't understand and reflect on when we're walking with God. There are going to be seasons when you're in your own struggle and your own stronghold where God is going to call you to lead some people, where he's going to call you to minister to some people, to pour into some people, to give to somebody, even when you're struggling. You know, there were seasons when I would be so, in my ministry, I would be struggling, no financial abundance, struggling within my own personal self, and God would be calling me to minister to these women. And I'd be like, how? But I want to tell you that even sometimes in your cave, God is going to call you to cover some people. He's going to call you to be the leader to some people. And at this time, David was a leader to over 400 people. But I want to tell you who these people were. It says it was the people who were brokenhearted. It was the people who did not have a home. It was the people who were lawless, the people who just were the crazy ones. This is who David was leading. So it makes sense at seasons when we're in our stronghold that God calls us to lead people that need to be led. The brokenhearted, the sick and the shut in, right? The ones that are going through trials and tribulations, the ones that are battling demonic things. It makes sense that in those seasons that God calls us to lead. But you have to realize though, even though David was a leader, he was still in the cave. And this right here really reflected and it ministered to me so much because there's been many seasons I felt like I was in the cave. But God was calling me to be the leader, to be a leader and to step into what it was that I needed to step into. But I never had that open door access, if that makes sense. And you may be feeling that way too. Sometimes you feel like God is calling you to do greater things, but you don't know how to break through. You don't have the open door access. But I want to tell you in the word, it says that a prophet came to David and told David to, hey, get out of this stronghold and go to your territory, which was the land of Judah. You're supposed to leave here and go now. I want to tell you that sometimes it takes us having someone to come and tell us that, hey, I know you can't tell right now, but the seasons have changed. I know you don't understand right now. I know your natural sight isn't really helping you, but I want you to realize the seasons have changed. The stronghold that you were sitting in, that sin, that struggle, that mountain, you can come out of it now because God says he's got new land and territory for you. See, sometimes we can't see that change in our own life. We can't see that God is doing a new thing at the time. So God has to send us a prophet. And so today I'm coming to tell you, boo, it's time to come out of your cave. You've been sitting in the stronghold, the broken heart. You've been sitting there for far too long in the past traumatic experiences. You've been sitting there with unforgiveness for far too long. You've been sitting there not telling your testimony and sharing what God has done in your life. You've been sitting there for far too long in the same broke down relationship. You've been sitting there for far too long, and God is saying it's time to come out of your cave. It's time to come out of your stronghold, because I want you to realize why he didn't say come out of the cave. He said, come out of your stronghold, because the cave is the representation of the thing that you're struggling with. The cave is the representation of the thing that's keeping you back from going into your new territory. The cave is the physical representation of what's really going on the inside of you. So if you are internally stuck, you're going to put yourself in a stronghold, in a cave, okay? You're going to find yourself in places you can't break free because internally you are stuck. But I want to tell you today that God, all he did was send his prophet to David. And I want to tell you, when David got that word, David came out of that cave. I want you to receive this word that whatever the stronghold is in your life, that you're going to come out of it in the name of Jesus. You're not going to let nothing hold you back. No demon in hell, no old relationship, no broken father relationship, nothing to hold you back from being who God says you're going to be. If God told you to come out, then you come out. You don't stay there any longer. You need to be able to look around and see that God is doing a new thing in you. That stronghold, that lack of confidence, that unworthiness, you got to leave that in the past and come out the better version. Because I want to tell you what happened. When David came out, he had 400 people following him. He was the leader of 400 people. See, there are some things that when you get in the cave, you got to learn some things in that cave, but you got to come out better, because it says as soon as David came out, guess what? He put his people to work. They went to fight. He put his people to work. There are people waiting on you to come out of your cave. There are people waiting on you to wake up and to see that there is greatness inside of you. There is a tribe, there is a woman, there is a cousin, there is a little niece, there's a nephew, there is a child waiting on you to embrace your vision so that they can get blessed by it also. I want to tell you today that this message hit me so hard, because sometimes God said, Morgan, there's times you sit in the cave of your past. You sit in the cave of that one thing that really hurt you. You sit in the cave of unforgiveness. You sit in the cave of that traumatic event. You sit in the cave of what you did when you was 21. You sit in the cave of not being at the place you want to be at. But I want to tell you, while you sit in that cave, your people are waiting on you. While you sit in that cave, people can't go do nothing yet because they're waiting on you. While you sit in that cave, you're not expressing your leadership qualities. You're actually sitting and you're stuck. While you sit in that stronghold, people are not being blessed. I want to tell you today, people are waiting on you, and you have to decide to come out there of that. See, the prophet was sent, okay, to David, but David could have easily said, no, I'm gonna just stay here. I'm pretty comfortable in the season of my life. I'm good where I'm at. I'm good when I'm comfortable with this level of faith. I'm good with my current position. I'm good with all this. He could have just stayed in the cave, but I want to tell you that's not what David did. When the prophet came, David left. And I want you to be at a place in your life that when this prophet comes and tells you to come out of your cave, which is right now, you get to a place where you stand up. You don't sit down anymore. You stand up and you say, it's time to come out of this cave. Dad, it's time to come out of that sinful relationship. It's time to come out of that past sexual abuse. It's time to come out of that emotional baggage. It's time to come out of feeling so lonely and all I do is just sit by myself. It's time to come out of that mindset that tells me I have nobody and I'm always by myself. I'm lonely. It's time to come out. I want to tell you right now that God is saying, come out of your stronghold. Come out of your cave, because guess what? It's a new season. He is doing a new thing in you, and it's time for you to come out of hiding. How do you come out? You stand up in faith. You begin to move towards the thing that fear is telling you not to do. So if fear is saying, don't come out. Oh, don't forgive that boy. He don't deserve it. Oh, don't talk to your mom anymore. Oh, don't call your dad because he hurt you that time. If fear is telling you those things, boo, I want you to push past that and do exactly what fear is telling you not to do. If fear says don't call them, call them up. Hey, how you doing? I want to tell you I love you. Man, I don't care what it is. Fear is trying to hold you back from your blessing, boo. And you got to go into your new territory. What happened with David is when he came out, he went into the land of Judah. He went into his new territory, and you've got to go into your new territory. God has new territory for you. So right now, I pray you receive this word. I want you to comment down below that you're going to come out of your cave. You're going to come out of your stronghold. And I'm even going to comment below, because guess what? I'm coming out too. God was revealing some mindsets to me, some things I needed to come out of. So I want you to be encouraged right now that even if you're in the cave, God is going to bring you people. And so don't neglect that, and don't stay in the cave too long while you're supposed to be helping people. God is going to bring you people. And when you see the people that God brings to you to minister to, for you to help, for you to serve, for you to equip, for you to pour into, remember, it's time to come out of my cave, okay? I want you guys to just ingest this word and just be encouraged and empowered. In May, it's time to come out, boo. It's time to come out. It's time to shine. It's time to come out of that dark place. Come into the light. Come and shine. Let the light shine bright on you. It's time to come out, daughters of God. I hope this message blessed you and ministered to you guys. And most of all, guys, I say, if you love this thing, if you love content like this, I want you to click the link in my description box. I have so many free resources that are to build you up if you battle with depression, anxiety, fear, anything. Click the link in my description box. It will really help you embrace purity. I have so many free resources at my website that I know will bless you. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.